Stuck at home in quarantine. 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Patriots Day if you're in Massachusetts. Happy first school day of spring break if you are in spring break somewhere. Hope everybody had a good day. My big activity to the day has been putting some pork butt on my smoker. And when I was at Costco a couple of days ago, I bought this huge package of pork shoulder, 13.5 pounds. Opened it up, turned out it was 2 pork shoulders, awesome. Went to smoke both of them. And so I put them on at 7 a.m. this morning. And I've seen estimated it takes like an hour, 15 minutes a pound. So I figured each one is about 7 pounds. Calculated that to be around 9 hours. And like I said, I put it on at 7 a.m. this morning. I'm now at hour 10 and still have a ways to go. I've got the internal temp at just 171 degrees. So I've got a while yet. And Helen, if you are watching, I don't know what time we are having dinner, but you can't rush the meat. So we'll see what happens with that. But I was hoping to pull it right before we made our 5 o'clock cocktails, but apparently that's not going to happen. But it's good. It's been holding well. It smells really good, so I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. But definitely hard to time. Allison just got a smoker. Oh, amazing. I have so many questions and want to talk so much about it. So next time we connect, I definitely want to hear about what type of smoker you have, and am happy to share any small nuggets of wisdom that I've picked up over the last few years. But the number one lesson that I've learned many times before and I'm learning today is that timing things on the smoker is not its strength. And so always build in more time than you need. Whenever I send Helen to buy limes at the store, I always say, however many you think you should buy twice as many. And I feel like there's a similar rule with smoking, which is however long you think it's going to take, add probably 20% or maybe more. Let's see. We've got Amy Tobin in the house. Hello, Amy. Caught up on a lot of little TV today also. I'm excited for 2 season finales that are coming up. Tonight is the season finale of Better Call Saul, which is just one of my favorite shows that's on right now. It's really great. So excited for that. And then I am also watching Homeland. It's the final season of Homeland. I would say it's no longer prestige TV. It's very, very dramatic and everything that's happening, but it is really exciting. I love it a lot. Just watched yesterday's episode, and the finale of that, which is going to be very exciting, airs next Sunday. So 2 plugs for those TV shows that I am watching. All right, so I'm excited tonight. We're making Caipirinhas, the national drink of Brazil. And so I'm really excited to mix some of these up. I had my first Caipirinha, I remember when I was like 19 or 20, our friend Zach was having a show in New York City. And it's happened a few times, and we'd go in, and beforehand, we'd go to this Brazilian restaurant. I think it was called the Brazil Grill. And despite being underage, they would serve us pitchers and pitchers of caipirinhas, and they were always quite delicious. And to this day, it's something that I really love. Were you ever a bartender, or are you self-taught? Totally self-taught. I aspire maybe to do some shifts behind the bar, but also feel like it would be sort of overwhelming to have to churn out a lot of drinks in a short amount of time. And so I'd love to be a bartender at like an unsuccessful, very slow bar, where I could just hang out with like a couple of regulars and not have to make like vodka sodas, and not have to make 60 drinks in an hour. A lot of Tobins in the house. Hello, Elise Tobin. My cousins are representing today. So, like I said, the Caipirinha is the national drink of Brazil, and it roughly translates, I guess, from Portuguese to be little peasant girl, and it's meant to be sort of like a rough and tumble cocktail using a liquor that they've been making in Brazil since the 1500s called cachaça. I have two kinds of cachaça here. And cachaça is in the rum family, but it is made from sugarcane juice that has been fermented. So rums are made from molasses. And then the other day we had a tea punch with rum agricole, which is made with fresh sugarcane juice that isn't fermented. Cachaça is made from sugarcane juice that is fermented. Rum agricole is not fermented, it's fresh. I don't know if I just said that, but that's how it is, and I'm sticking to it. All right. And I feel like when you go to like the fancy bars, they are likely to make it with the LeBlanc cachaça. And I feel like every time I have it, it has like a weird cucumber aftertaste to it that isn't my favorite. I'm gonna give it another try today. This is, I think, a slightly cheaper cachaça that I prefer a little bit more, the P2 cachaça. Both of them Brazilian, all cachaça is Brazilian, and it'll be good either way. But I wanted this to, I've never done just like a side-by-side of these two, so let's give that a go. So I've got the P2, a little bit, a little splash there, and the LeBlanc. Yeah, it's like, all right. Maybe the LeBlanc's just a little funkier, and like even grassier, even earthier, just a little bit more extreme. When I'm tasting them smelling them side by side, I'm not tasting as much of a difference. Like, I don't think the flavors are different, but I think the LeBlanc is more intense in its flavor, which is, I think, what you want. So I'm going to go with the LeBlanc today. Let's give it a taste, too. Yeah, the LeBlanc is a little funkier. In potentially a good way. All right, so as I was saying, this is like kind of rough and tumble drink, a little rough around the edges, and is in my eyes delicious. It's not too different from like a daiquiri, which we made last week, which has your rum, simple syrup, and lime juice. But everything, like I said, is going to be like a little bit rougher around the edges. So the cachaça is going to be a little funkier instead of the normal rum we would use. The limes, we're not going to use like freshly strained lime juice. We're just going to put in chopped up limes and muddle them in. And instead of the simple syrup, we're going to use some Demerara cane sugar. That was a dramatic pour onto the table, which was unintentional. Let's see. And the effect of using the cane sugar, or even like Demerara sugar cubes, is that everything is going to be a little bit, it's not going to go into dilution as much. So it's going to be a little greenier and going to be a little, this isn't a refined, smooth drink. This is the country bumpkin of drinks. But it's going to be really great. So here's how I like to do it. I'm going to take my lime and I'm going to cut it in half. And basically each drink is going to get half a lime. But to this lime, I'm going to cut it once in half again. And then rotate 90 degrees and cut it twice more. So basically I have these little lime pieces, which is half cut into sixths. So I guess these would be twelfths for those math teachers out there. And I'm going to use 6/12 of a lime, which I'm going to put into my tin there. And then The other effect of using the Demerara sugar is that it's a little like harder to measure. I'm just going to take my 1 ounce jigger and put in a little bit less than an ounce in there. Again, not all of this is going to go into dilution, so we're not going to get the effect and sweetness of all of it, which is why we're using kind of a lot. I'm going to pour that into my shaker too. And then I'm going to take my muddler and just going to press these together. And what's going to happen as I do this is I'm going to be sort of extracting some of the juice from the limes. And that's also going to start to mix with the sugar. All right. So I don't know if you can see, yeah. So there we just have some lime juice from half a lime that's been smushed together with my muddler with some of that Demerara sugar. And to that I'm going to add 2 ounces of my cachaça. Beautiful. Now I'm going to grab some ice. And this drink, again, everything is rough about this drink. If I was making a daiquiri, I would double strain it into a nice, beautiful coupe. This, we're not going to do any straining. We're going to shake and then do an open pour that goes right into the glass. So I'm going to take the glass I'm going to serve it in, just to make sure I don't end up with more ice than I can fit. And just see whether to use basically 4 or 5 cubes in this. I'm going to use 4 cubes because I think if I do more than that, I'm going to risk having too much in there. So I will add that to my glass, get that together in my shaker, and let's shake it up. Remember, always shake for longer than you think you do. Comment from Helen: why does Dixie get so thirsty when you're filming? I don't know. I just brought her in. Our water bowl is right next to me. And I'm sure you all heard her chowing down on some delicious, delicious water a moment ago. All right. So I've got my glass here. And like I said, we're just going to pour it all right in, ice and all. Lime pieces, everything. Now I have this like stream of sugar there. I want to get that out, so I'm just gonna scrape some of it in. Let that, as I drink, continue to sweeten the drink. You're not gonna get all of it, but that's fine. Do a quick little stir. And that's all, no fancy garnish. Again, the limes are in there. Super like cloudy drink. But for my money, one of the nicest, most refreshing summer drinks you can have. Easy to make. You've got the lime, a little bit sweet. You've got the interesting flavors from the cachaça. You can use a straw in this. You cannot use a straw. Totally, totally up to you. Ooh, great job shaking. It's like a shake weight. Yeah, you know those like infomercials for the... Those were invented by a bartender who was, doing lots of shaking and realized it was a big workout for their upper arms. And so they invented the shake weight. Not a true story. All right, let's give this a taste. You don't strain it. Nope. Don't strain it. Don't you choke on the chunks. So maybe, I guess you could. So you need to be wary as you drink it. So one solution is to use a straw. And the second solution is just be careful as you're drinking. A little bit of my beard. Oh, that's so good. Again, a little gritty from the Demerara sugar. Limey from the limes. The cachaça comes through, but it's not like a super punch-in-your-face alcoholic drink. It's balanced really well by the lime and the sugar. Such a great drink. The Caipirinha. All right, team. So, hope you have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to be watching my meat on the smoker. Right now we're in the point that they call the stall, which is when you have a big hunk of meat and you have it in heat and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, the internal temperature, you're measuring it. And then when it gets between like 160 and 175, it kind of just stops and sits at that temperature for what feels like forever. Has something to do with the rate of evaporation of the moisture at that temperature compared to how much heat it's absorbing. It's losing heat through the evaporation. Anyway, they call it the stall. Very frustrating. There are ways around it. You can wrap it in tinfoil or butcher paper. But I'm just going to ride it out. And might turn into a midnight snack. But it's spring break, so that's what we've got. Okay.
It's 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Thank you for having a drink with me. Thanks for all the activity in the chat today. Hope you have a great night, and we will see you back. You know that tomorrow is Tuesday, which of course means it is Tiki Tuesday. Can't wait to see you right back here. Have a good night.